Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. Jason here. Sorry it's been a little while since I posted a video. I'll try and make this pretty quick. Thank you to all of our patrons, all of our supporters. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to check the links down below for links to today's book and anything else that we might find applicable. I need to have some traffic through that Amazon thing that you guys suggest in order for it to keep going. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into today's video. Today's video is going to be a series I haven't covered yet. First time I read it and was utterly blown away and read the whole thing in one sitting. So I'm talking about R.C. Joshua and his series How to Survive the End of the World. Another lit RPG series, another sort of, I wouldn't really call it a system apocalypse because this kind of skips the actual apocalypse time period, although the world is definitely in a post-apocalyptic type of setting. But it's different. It's different. It's a ton of fun. We once again have the weird character. This is one of the first times that I'm reading one of these books that the character is not overpowered. He more gets luck, a little bit of Deus Ex every so often, and just weirdness that kind of prevails. So getting into the story a little bit, the main character's name is Sean. Now, this starts... The book, the whole series, basically starts kind of quasi-modern times. This guy's basically, I won't call him a mechanic. I mean, he's very smart. He's going to college, but he's working a very low-end job just to pay his way through. And he's working in a company that is dealing with this prototype machine that, in a way, is kind of time-ish relevant. And through mistake, accident, whatever it may be, he basically gets thrown forward in time. Is kind of the best way to put it. In reality, the way the book is written, he's sort of suspended. He's suspended in a way that nobody can touch him, nothing can happen. So he's basically like an indestructible statue inside a little pod for X amount of time. Excuse me. And what happens is, eventually he wakes up. He eventually wakes up and discovers that he is in the far future in, like I said, a post-apocalyptic type world. Now, we're in a lit RPG world. The system has come into play. We've got, magic classes and just the weird, odd kind of stuff that occurs. And it's fully developed. Now, the world is declining. Society is declining. People are declining as the monsters and the system itself seems to be overpowering. And now there's some more details to start coming out about the end of the world, which is the title of the book. But for Sean, he is thrown back way back behind the bell curve because he is coming out. He's not system integrated, so when he comes out, he becomes system integrated and therefore ends up getting a class. Now, so he's level 1, and we're in a world that has progressed beyond, that has learned to survive-ish within this lit RPG apocalypse type world. So everybody else is much further along than him. They're stronger, they have higher stats, they have better classes, they have more skills, they know the world better, they understand the world better. Meanwhile, he is just stuck as a level 1. He is basically stuck as like a 5-year-old child when it comes to abilities, power, things along those lines. And he has to learn and survive off of this. He also gets what's considered a junk class. In fact, his class really does deal with junk, and it's really cool. It's really cool. It's really amusing as he creates these weapons that are just, oh my god, they're absolutely hilarious. And sometimes they sort of kind of almost turn overpowered, but they're really not. It's weird. But he's behind the curve, and he almost every time he is in combat, he almost dies. Everything he runs into is a threat to him. He gets a few advantages. His class has a couple advantages, especially with how his mind just kind of works a little bit different. He does meet somebody near the beginning that sort of helps him out with learning a little bit about the world and classes and how the lit RPG stuff works, but for the most part, he's just stuck. He's stuck. He's screwed. As he's learning more about things, he gets a few advantages. For instance, he gets a base, and this base is cool because it will travel with him. Of course, he has to find it when he travels to other places, other worlds, or dungeons, or whatever it may be. And that gets pretty amusing as well, and especially because sometimes it ends up in some really odd places. But for the most part, he's got a base, which gives him a base of operations, basically kind of a sort of safe space. He still needs to reinforce it because it can be broken into, can be invaded. He can also bring people into it. And if he brings someone into it and they turn on him, well, then they could, of course, take his base. And he has the usual base building options, but he needs to gain experience and the monetary units necessary in order to build up his base, which gets pretty cool too. The base itself becomes kind of a major player as far as his weird class and his weird abilities and the stuff he's able to do with it. So coming into this, he again, the first book is kind of a lead up. He's basically kind of in the crap because he's got a smart mouth too, and he knows through various things, a diary left for him and some other things. He knows that that the world is in trouble, and he needs to figure out a way to try and save the world, or he's going to die along with the world. But he's mostly focused on saving the world and figuring out a way to save the world. What that means is he comes into conflict with all kinds of people and just makes enemies. He does make friends, and he makes some interesting friends. In the first book, he makes friends with basically almost a dungeon creature-ish, a type of dragon that he makes friends with that gets pretty interesting. And again, he's got his couple little allies he makes here and there while trying not to give too much information about himself, but he has to share from time to time. Makes a few friends, mostly just makes some pretty amusing and just weird weapons. And this book is more of a build-up. It's a fun book, and it's an awesome book, and it's a great read. But it's kind of a build-up, because at the end, he basically says, screw it, and he jumps his way. He just says, to hell with it, and goes ahead and enters basically the hardest tournament there is, this kind of system world type tournament that will decide the fate of the world. The winner of this tournament will decide the fate of the world. And again, Sean is way behind everybody else when it comes to abilities, strengths, stats, magic, or skills, all of that stuff. He is way, way, way behind. The only advantages he has when he goes into this tournament is he'll meet a few other humans, because again, this tournament is a system tournament. So other creatures are coming, other empires and other beings, elves, dwarves, lizard people, whatever you want to think of within a lit RPG world from other worlds are all coming into this tournament as well, because this tournament again kind of will hinge on the control and survival of Earth itself and a lot of resources and a lot of abilities. So he'll have to make a few friends and all that, and that's what will lead into book 2. I know this one kind of ramble a little bit, but this book is a very rambling sort of book. Thank you everybody for watching. You really got to check this book out, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.